Men of Reddit, what's the strangest incident that made you have a boner? When my wife and I got married, we got a bunch of money as wedding presents. We lived abroad and the wedding was in her home country, so people mostly gave cash rather than giving us gifts that we couldn't take with us. We got home after the wedding and counted all the cash, and I got a raging boner by the time we were done. Worth noting that the amount was more than we had in our name at that point. Look at all of that cold, hard cash. Airplane boners. Almost every time during takeoff, I have liftoff. Not sure if it's the sudden change in altitude or cabin pressure or what, but I pretty much expect it every time now. Almost every time during takeoff, I have liftoff. Why is that so funny? So, based on the number of upvotes, does this mean there are lots of dudes just boned up together on most flights? I feel like this is the male version of period syncing up. I believe it is pressure and whatnot. Every single day in grade 9 gym like clockwork, didn't help I was in basketball shorts. Ah, the good old days of the tuck maneuver. If it's long enough. There's a depressing thought. You only need like 3 inches for that, laughing my butt off. Yeah, but you get to drive obnoxiously sized pickups. I used to get an erection just before I got off the bus to school every day for almost a year when I was about 14. It would have been super embarrassing, but fortunately my erection isn't especially difficult to hide. Got to take the wins with the losses. Maybe it's so big that he can belt it super easy. Definitely feel the bus boner. I always blamed it on the bumpy bus ride. I regularly go hiking with my wife. Every time we are at or near the top or a mountain or cliff and I look over the edge, I get hard. Altitude thickness? I'm crying laughing. You get hard from edging? I only read the comments to make sure someone had an edging comment. It's the cat call of the void. Edit, damn, guys, thanks for the bling. Top level joke. Gravity is just pulling your dick then. Gravity gives a good handy, then. Gives an entire new meaning to the phrase F the earth. That's a phrase? It is for those who F soil. My husband too. One time we had sex at a lookout point when he got his cliff boner and he still won't shut up about how amazing it was 7 years later. I'm loving how cliff boner is a thing. He sounds like a director. Are you my husband? Every time I go for a hike with him he asks if we should stop and have sex. Goddamn, my husband too. WTF? Y'all got the same husband? I also choose this woman's husband. Husband here. What man does not want to bang his woman in the wild? Yes. Over Thanksgiving break my spouse and I did a long hike up a large mountain and I had to keep beating the man off with a stick, and at one point was jokingly hitting him with a stick and saying, "No, I won't have sex with you." And a couple walked by asking if I was okay, smiley face. Fear boner maybe? Probably because you're both exerting yourself and breathing heavy. Only happens when I look over the edge. If I don't look, no boner. Men are visual creatures. Anyone else get the crying wife, girlfriend boner, or am I the only terrible person here? I get a boner anytime I'm in the vicinity of my wife. Me too. I also get a boner anytime I'm in the vicinity of user Jake7494's wife. Reddit link. My husband. I don't cry often, but when I do, and he hugs me to console me, something always comes between us, smiley face. This is the most unfair boner to get. This happened with my ex-girlfriend so many times. I felt so bad. I'm just there like I'm not horny, trust me, even though you can feel the throbbing proof otherwise. One time I hit my head hard and I got the hardest bone ever. This head is effed, get the other one up and running, boys. Your blood cells. Let's go, smokes. Just for your information, unexpected boner is one of the diagnostic clues for a spinal injury. Haha. You may never walk again. But shit. It was at this moment he realized. He effed up. Brain, must procreate before it's too late. Be back later, off to break my spine. Math class boners in high school. My buddy in 5th grade did the Gettysburg Address in front of the class, gold jogging pants, full boner, with a wet tip. Just the way old Abe did it. With a wet tip, lol. Is it because the math problem was hard too? There's just something about Pythagorean's theory, it gets me so hot, and I simply can't control myself. It's fractions that get me going. I've always wanted to be dominated by a numerator. Who's your numerator? I got those because I knew gym class was after that. Which caused me to constantly think about how I am afraid of having a random hormone boner when it's time to change, which gave me one. Spent all of geometry focusing on making it leave. My girlfriend when she's just finished crying. I don't know why, but I think it's the way her eyes look when they're wet. Had to explain multiple times it's not over her crying. My husband is the same way. We call them sympathy boners. Probably. Looking at someone you love/desire makes your eyes dilate. You get that sparkling effect. You're probably seeing the reflectiveness of her wet eyes and pattern matching it to her looking at you like it's time to bone down. I love that a scientific explanation ends with the phrase bone down. My boyfriend does this too. I was at a Christian music festival. A friend of mine at the time was sad because his girlfriend broke up with him, and the band that finished on the stage was the couple's favorite and played their favorite song. He started crying and hugged me. I was his shoulder to cry on. But then I felt myself chubbing up. Some guy is crying his eyes out on my shoulder and I'm getting a boner. That was effing weird. Classic case of morning wood. I think that may just be a normal response. Every boyfriend I've ever had seems to get an involuntary boner when they're holding me and I'm crying. I wonder why that happens. So do we. Do you actually feel a little horny, possibly because of a heightened emotional state when it happens, or is it more of a complete surprise like please not now? Like, 90% the second one for me. Like, I'm horny but not willingly and I'd rather not be? Will answer for my spouse, even though he might give a different answer. He went through a phase where he was really captivated by owls. We went to a bird park, unaware they had an entire indoor enclosure filled with different types of owls. It was dark and eerie inside, your eyes had to adjust, and the owls in different rooms sort of crept up on you. There were so many owls. Way more owls than he had dreamed of seeing that day. It probably took us half an hour to walk through. Needless to say, he was very moved. Your husband is a furry? Or a feathery? Just a very powerful experience. Like meeting your heroes. Owls are my absolute favorite, but I'm not sure they would make me wet. I have held one and was lucky enough that she let me pet her a bit. They are the absolute lightest and softest sweet little animals. Purple heart. It absolutely wasn't sexual, that's what makes it a weird boner. He was very surprised by it. What the F? Strangest was probably when I had an intense workout session and got ready to go to bed after a shower. I was so exhausted and seriously didn't feel like jerking one off, so there I was. Just lying there with a raging boner trying to sleep. It's not the worst or more embarrassing experience, but it was certainly strange that my dick was just like, now is my time to shine. I effing hate those. Go away, erection, and let me sleep. It's probably because of the workout. Goof, blood flow and your heart pumping help. This girl told me the specific reason she loved me, which immediately gave me a boner. Heart boner. Affection erection. Hard on. The chub of love. You misspelled boner. That's a grade A hard on, good buddy. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.